What's going on, everybody? It's David Palmer, Leo King, and this is my show, Uncut Astrology, where I take off the mask or the veil and I go deep into the astrological week of December 23rd through the 29th of 2015. And happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. There is a lot happening this week, so I can't wait to talk about this week's astrology. But before we do, I have two announcements. Number one, my iPhone app has just got a new upgrade, and now I'm selling videos, special videos through the app. Now, if you're not a subscriber to the app, you can actually still buy the videos, and my monthly horoscope will now start to be available through the app starting January 1st, where you can purchase through the app and watch on your phone. So I'm moving a lot of the store onto the apps now. It'll be coming out on Android soon, but for right now, on iPhone, I do have this stuff available, and all my classes are now going to be available on the app. They should be up by the time you watch this. My second announcement is for the holidays. I did take my readings down. I did put them on an extreme sale. So if you want to get a reading with me for this holiday, I'll have the sale up through to the beginning of the year. Get that now at inclusiveastrology.com. Let's get into the astrology horoscope, everybody. Number one. Almost the last week of the year, but of course we're being teased by the time this week ends, and of course the way that I'm doing my astrology, we still got another week, right? But we are here at the end of 2015, and it's very unique to see all the energy coming in. Very positive energy coming into this week. Venus and Jupiter are making a nice sextile coming into Christmas and coming into this week. Now, they're not in the signs that they want to be in. Jupiter's in detriment, and so is Venus. So Venus and Jupiter aren't in their favorite spots, but they are linking up. And even though they're not in the best places, this is a week where we are looking at relationships. We are looking at projects. We are looking at our future and what we're manifesting very powerfully. I say that because not only is the sun in Capricorn that wants to look forward and look at, the plans ahead, but when you get Jupiter and Venus along, these two, especially in a sextile, are trying to work together to get down to the passions, to get down to the reality, but more importantly, Jupiter is the future, and this is opening the doors now for future of relationships, future of projects coming into this week. And the theme of this week seems to be the future. The theme of this week seems to be really, turning things on. And I say future because there's a full moon in Cancer that's going to happen on Christmas, and this one is at the same time that the planet Uranus is going direct in Aries. Now, Uranus is the planet that is of the heavens. Literally, it rules the heavens. And there's an aspect to me, because that's what Uranus rules. If you look up the mythology of Uranus, very unique story. But this is the sign and the planet that are very different. Aries is all about the independent self and identity. Uranus is all about the group, and it is about the individual part of it, but it's the individuality that's part of the group. Like it's very weird. Uranus and Aries is a very weird but powerful alignment to empower ourselves and find our uniqueness in ourselves. And when Uranus turns on, it's a lot like a crazy, weird Frankenstein machine with a lot of electricity turning on. And we've been all waiting for this electricity to turn on. Remember, Mars has been in Libra for a while now, and I don't know if you've been noticing, if you're an astro nerd out there, Mars has been slowing down. You know why? Because Mars is getting ready to retrograde here at the in 2016. So Mars is starting to take his time. He's like not as fast as he usually is, and Mars has been in Libra for a minute. And when Mars is in Libra, it's kind of hard to get things really going fully. It just doesn't, there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of negotiating, there's a lot of emails, there's a lot of, handshakes, then re-handshaking, there's a lot of debate, right? Especially we saw these big debates with, the Republican candidates and so forth. But, we all haven't been able to fully really get there to where we need to go. And this week there's the excitement that we can actually start to get places, yet in a weird direction, we're still not there. It's all about planting the seed this week of where the future's going. It's all about, think about this. All the planets are going to be direct once Uranus goes direct on Christmas. So once Uranus is on, we get a little bit of a window here until January 6th when Mercury goes retrograde, where all the planets are forward. I don't remember when it was all the planets were forward. It's been a minute. It's been a while. I'll have to look back, and I should have done some research before that, but I've been slammed. And when all the planets are forward, this is a moment, a very rare moment, where we are creating karma in many ways, where the needle's moving forward. Everything is moving forward now. And this is a very rare moment. I talked about last week how all the planets are not in their greatest dignified positions. You know, this isn't like the greatest of energy, but I said last week that this is a lot of our energy to move up towards. And you know what? With negotiations that have been happening, and with Uranus turning direct in Aries, and with this full moon in Cancer that's bringing our emotions up about what we're wanting to manifest as far as our long-term goals, our needs, our wants, and, you know, more importantly, our destinies, this is really getting to the bottom of what we're feeling. You know, a full moon in Cancer, it's the natural sign of it. This is a time for us to really get to the bottom of our emotions. And I did a winter solstice report on my Facebook. And I felt like this solstice is about, we're all trying to find ways to self-heal ourselves right now. Remember, Chiron, Neptune, and the South Node are in Pisces, but there's this Jupiter and North Node that is in Virgo. And so being realistic is important, and finding a way to change your life and find that specific thing that's going to open you up and heal you is very difficult. You know, we can't just rely on just the universe. I said that there has to be this kinship partnership between you and the universe to find this. We're in Saturn and Sagittarius. We have to go on an adventure. There's still that confusion in the background. Neptune squaring Saturn. It's not out of full orb yet. It's been a really confusing December and even November. But I feel as we're coming into this week, we finally start to get an understanding. Mercury trines Jupiter this week, which means we see things very big and far. I was born with this alignment. I just see it. I just know where it's going. You know, Mercury trine Jupiter, it starts to see big visions, and it gets very excited about the future, and it gets very excited about what it's learning. The negative aspect of this week is Mercury will then square Mars. So that's showing me that even though we're seeing these great visions, we're not ready to go yet, especially a Mercury in Capricorn, squaring a Mars in Libra. This is not a time where it's all fully moving fast as maybe we want to, and that could become frustration, that could become anger, that we say, that we spurt something out. And, you know, this is a time to not let frustrations overwhelm you and realize these are all the cards setting up. We're getting our hands dealt now. It almost feels like these are new hands being dealt. And we need to not be afraid that we're going to get a bad hand again. You know, we need to learn that through healing ourselves, it's by playing the hand differently of how the universe is bringing us into positions. This is a time where we need to look into our future, and we need to start to look at our passions and look at the life we want and realize it's in front of us, and we just need to step into it. Even though it might not be easy, there's still negotiations, there's still a lot to weigh out. This is a beautiful time with the sun in Capricorn, a full moon in Cancer. This is a time for you to really be aware of all the uncomfortable, all the protective, and more importantly, all the feelings you have deep inside of yourself that hold you back from getting back on track in your life. And this is a week about getting back on track, seeing the future, seeing the great vision, and getting ready to go. The other last aspect is Venus is ending in Scorpio at its detriment and gets ready to hop into Sagittarius when we go to the Uncut next week. The moon will be squaring it when it comes in, which will be kind of unique, but Venus getting ready to come into Sagittarius is going to really open up a lot, especially as this is where Saturn is. There's going to be a lot regarding our finances, relationships, and projects that finally see some sort of door and serious attention that we've been wanting to have open. But it's not fully there this week. So use this week to be like a painter. Understanding what you want to paint, playing around with different colors, but realizing that it might not turn out to be exactly the exact thing that, you know, the painting's not going to be done this week, if that makes sense. It also is the holiday, so I think it's kind of ironic. But this is a beautiful week because we finally see the vision, we finally see things, and even though there's this really big confusion in the background that's going on, we finally are opening up and seeing that, oh, you know what? This is more of what's going on. Mercury in Capricorn is in shadow, so this is a place where we're going to think a lot of, but this is a time in our life where we are putting together the things that we are going to accomplish. We are putting the things together and the visions forward that we are going to, I don't want to say conquer, but move towards. And the only issue is realizing that, you know, trying to not face reality and face changing your life and how it works is an issue if you're not ready for that. You gotta confront and you gotta step forward into things that you don't want to sometimes in order to heal yourself. It's like, yeah, you know, sometimes you have to have surgery. You know, Virgo rules surgery. And, you know, and the other part of Pisces kind of rules just taking drugs to not deal with it, you know. So it's like this part of ourselves where we're having to realize in all of our lives, we've got to face that shift point, a change in our day-to-day activities, a change in our reality. And that's not easy sometimes when we just want to escape or we just want to push it off or we just want to avoid it, even though if we do, we get stuck there and that's the last place we want to be. This Mars in Libra weighs things out and moving forward has not been very simple. But realize that we're near the end of that, and this week is just about vision. Vision, positive energy, connecting with people, and starting to realize that everything's aligning in front of you. The dominoes are aligning. All the planets are direct. And Uranus has turned on, which is the aha, which is the electricity. It brings back vitality. It brings the heavens back to us. It brings the electricity of dots starting to connect again. And I think that this has been very difficult with a Saturn-Neptune square with a Uranus retrograde because it has not allowed us to find how the dots are all going to work together. But somehow a spark turns on. Unpredictability. Things that have felt down turn up. And even though this is a Venus-Jupiter in detriment, this is still Venus and Jupiter. And you know what? This is doing it in ways where the feel-good energy is not about, right, the opposite of Scorpio, which is Taurus, which is just about having $1 million. Or Jupiter when it does great in Pisces, where you're living in a fantasy. This is us really getting to the bottom of our realities, our wants and needs and desires, and making sure that we can realign these again and get the dots going together, get out of some sort of confusion, even though that's not fully gone. But at least really see the vision and be excited about it and get ready for when we step into this new year when we're going to talk about what 2016 will be all about. I'll be doing my Year of the End address for next week's Uncut, and I also am going to explain in my next video. A lot of people have been asking me, how come it always seems like, you know, the next thing always shows up? Like we always have to like go through another big spiritual like kind of transit that's hard. When is it ever just going to end? And I'm going to describe that answer in next week's video. If you want to support me, you can get me on my apps on Apple and Android or my premium website, leoking.looksack.com, to get access to my sun sign horoscopes, daily tarot, and so much more. And of course, now you can start to download all the videos on my iPhone app. And there's also inclusiveastrology.com if you want to get access to all of my content, especially my readings, which you can buy right now. They are on sale. I'm going to post it up on my Facebook too. I will either be... Because Christmas Eve's kind of weird, something happened in my situation with my family with Christmas Eve, so it's a little weird for me. So I'm not sure what I'm doing Christmas Eve. I might actually be doing a live show on Christmas Eve, spiritual dance music for everybody if they want me, if there's a lot of wanters and doers. So post on the comments below underneath YouTube if you want to have me do the live show or not. And do a Christmas Eve special. So thank you for all the support. I truly appreciate it so much. I hope this made sense. And I am sending you lots of love, and I am hoping that you have an awesome and amazing holiday with your family or friends. And I just want you to know that you are the greatest gift to me, and thank you for being there with me through all this and to spend another holiday with you. Thanks so much, and I will see you on the next Uncut.